Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here. Today, I wanted to talk about me getting top 4 in Yugioh's 32-player Genesys tournament. I had a really strong start, going like 3 or 4-0, and then like the last 2 rounds when I was in top 4, I just like lose, and then I lost the third, fourth playoff too. It was so unfortunate. But the losing the third, fourth playoff, I think, was due to a deck building error, and then losing in top 4. I think I misplayed here and there, but at the same time, we're gonna go over my top 4 match too. I misplayed a couple times, but I don't think the misplays really mattered. There was some really unfortunate top decks that happened that I think really solidified me. But the main thing that I want to take away from this video is the deck I played. If you guys know me, obviously I have been playing a lot of Runick in the TCG, and I immediately saw Genesys, and people wrote off Runick because there's no extra monster zone to be able to special summon. Like as if there wasn't another half of the cards that made them very good in the first place. So what I want to do is kind of talk about that logic and the deck that I played within that. So if you guys enjoy, please subscribe, really appreciate it. Please use the affiliate links down below. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so here is the Genesys deck that I played for the tournament. Like I said, I got top 4 with this, and I just want to go over it really quickly and then kind of explain the cards. So 3 copies of the Radient, Typhoon, Swen, Eldum, 1 of each of the big ones, the girl and the chicken, 1 copy of Makala, 1 copy of Corseska, 2 copies of Manifestation, 3 Vision, 3 Chant, 2 copies of MST, 3 copies of Mirage of Nightmare. I'm going to talk about this after I go through all the cards. 3 copies of Flashing, 3 Tip, 3 Freezing, 3 Destruction, 2 Fountain, and 3 copies of Ash. For the side, 3 Ultimate Slayer, 3 Fua, 1 Astral Karibo, 3 copies of Crow, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, and 3 The Bunk. And for the extra, 2 Totem Bird, 2 Cicada King, 1 Break Sword, 1 Grand Pulse, 1 copy of Enterlathnir, 1 Cyber / Harpy Lady, 1 Mind Castellan, 1 copy of Malong, 1 Chenyang, 1 copy of Super Sky Blaster, 1 Aggregator, 1 Garura, and 1 Fortune Tune. So, obviously I wanted to play Runick in this format, and I've been playing with this deck pretty early from like essentially when this format came out. I wanted to play Runick, and this was the first deck that came to mind, but I did not want to show it because I wanted to be able to play in a couple tournaments before I actually showed the deck, because I think it's really good. So obviously Radiant Typhoon cards. I am shocked that this deck is worth 0 points. I cannot believe it. I don't think it's going to stay like that either. Reason being, Terratop is 3 points. I'm not saying that Terratop is like a disgustingly broken card either, but Terratop being 3 points essentially means that a card like cards like Radiant Typhoons, Swen, and Eldum really shouldn't exist, right? Because now what eventually Konami is saying is that if Terratop's going to cost points, these are also just accomplish the same thing Terratop does, right? Obviously, going second, they're a little bit worse because your opponent can have spell and traps in their back row, and then you can't special summon them. But these you don't have to play the brick either. You can just play like 3-2-2, and none of them are bricks, right? Or like you can't start with or you play 3-1, 3-3-1, and there's like one, like you have a brick, but your brick is still a level 3 extender. It's not even that, because if you start with a spell, you just go Eldum and then into Swen and get follow up, or you can go Swen, spell, monster, get back into monster. So it's like you have ways to do it anyway. So I am appalled that Terratop is worth points and that this deck is not. Now that's also not including getting into the big guys, right? Like obviously we have Makala here, who's just like can special summon from the deck for free. Obviously this locks you in the wins, and this locks you in the wins, the Corseska, but we don't really care too much. Or Corsi, however you pronounce it. But the 2 big ones are really what I want to talk about. At first, I was a big fan of the Great Flame and how I thought this deck card was crazy, which it is crazy, don't get me wrong. Both these cards are crazy in their own respect. But the Great Flame being a card that can get rid of so many bodies for literally free during either player's turn, each turn, is insane. The amount of value that this card can generate is ridiculous. Now, going along with that, same thing with Vibrant Vortex. This card being a negate for free is just as equally as ridiculous because in certain matchups, right? So the thing with Vibrant Vortex sitting on the board, one, it beats Nib, right? You can do a line where you beat Nib completely with this card, which is ridiculous. And then it's still there, right? You don't like lose the interrupt. It's not something where you like Baron the floor and you get rid of the Baron negate, at least if you Nib, right? This is still there. This is still a problem just sitting there, and it's a pain to deal with. And it keeps coming back from the graveyard. So even when you do deal with it, and same thing with the bird too. Even if you deal with it, if you kaiju over it, if you do something, or lava golem, whatever people are playing, in Genesys format, you can revive this thing if you have an MST set, in which a lot of the times you're able to set up in some kind of capacity. Now, next up is the spells. You have plenty of access to Mystical Space Typhoon. Obviously, we played 2 of it already, but I wanted to play Manifestation because the first effect does come up here and there, but just more cards to be able to search Mystical Space Typhoon I think is always good, and to discard off Vision. Like, you want these cards in rotation all the time. And then obviously Chant is like just insane to be able to search level 4 or lower. So, also, while I'm on these cards, MST itself is also just like a good card. Like, as you've probably noticed, Cosmic Cyclone is seeing a lot of play in Genesys format. And that's because back row is prevalent, right? Even the Vanquish Soul deck, for instance, is setting Vanquish Soul trap card, or they have to go into like a start line. And if you have MST set, you could just interact with that, right? And that's completely fine. That trades with a line of play that they have, more than likely. Or it helps break the board, at least going second. So that's like a main thing that MST, like, it's not like MST is a bad card. I just want to make that very clear. Now, in tandem with this, I wanted to go into play a card that could really abuse this engine, and one of them was Mirage of Nightmare. Mirage of Nightmare, obviously ridiculous that this card is 10 points. I cannot believe that a card that says draw 4 cards is 10 points. This is remarkable to me. I will abuse this until it is not 10 points anymore, because this is insane. The fact that I can play 3 Mirage of Nightmare, 3 Ash Blossom, and 3 Fua is just insane, to say the least. And the cool interaction with this card was always that on your turn, you activate it, your opponent's standby phase, you draw up to 4, right? You have all your back row, you set everything, you special all your guys on your turn, you clear your hand. Oh, maybe you have 1 card in hand like an Ash Blossom, but other than that, you clear your hand. Then, on your opponent's turn, you draw 4 cards. So, and then when it comes back to you, on your draw phase, you usually have drawn one of your MST cards, whether it be one of the spells or the MST themselves. Then you can just MST your own Mirage of Nightmare so that you don't have to discard what you drew. So if you drew 4 cards, and then your 5th card is an MST when you get back to you, or one of the 4 cards you drew is an MST, you can just MST your own Mirage back in your draw phase, and then you just keep everything that you drew. Yeah, you have to sacrifice an MST, but like, who cares? This card said draw 4. It's the big deal. It's just insane. Now, talking about Mirage of Nightmare specifically, I wanted to abuse this card and make it feel even better. So how do you do that? You need cards that when you draw them are like interactions, right? Interaction points. So obviously hand traps, Ash Blossom, right? Very straightforward. But we needed something else. And the something else that was pretty apparent, as you're obviously looking at, is Runicks, right? So if you activate Runick Fountain on your turn, you go either Fountain or you tip for it, either or, and play it, and then you go Mirage of Nightmare, and you draw your 4, you can draw Tip, Flashing, Freezing, or Destruction, and these all now work as hand traps on your opponent's turn, and can give you additional draws to help draw into MST or other Runicks, or, you know, anything like literally anything. It's crazy. So it's just ridiculous. There's been multiple times where I set up a board, like I've set up full board where it's like Totem Bird or Cicada King with like both big guys live. Back row set with like MST, Fountain, Mirage, and maybe like another Runick already. And then like I Mirage in their standby phase, and I draw like Ash, Runick, and it's like, all right, like we're in like the nerfed format, and I have like 10 interruptions of like not stacking it, like no Appaloosas here either. Like this is just 10 interrupts that are all separate. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so to say it's not crazy, it's just an understatement. Now, of course, that all requires setup and deck building, right? So it's not like it's not malleable, right? Like this deck is like, you have to play it almost exactly this way. I've seen the top deck that played in the Invitational, that played Pot of Greed. These non-engine slots are super important. I just don't think I can get away with playing Pot of Greed. Like Mirage of Nightmare is more than enough, and can punish so many decks that go long. Like any deck that just takes forever, you can just punish so heavily. So that is why I like this card, and it's just... every time I resolve it, it's just so broken. Obviously, being able to play Ash Blossom in this deck is ridiculous too. You can play 3 Fountain. It's not actually limited to 2, but I just don't want to play 3 Fountain. Also, none of the Runicks are worth points. If you look at Runick cards, this is a very important thing. If you're looking at Runick cards, besides their synergy with the MST deck, the Radiant Typhoon strategy, they are just a non-engine like cards you can play. They're 0 points, non-engine. That is awesome. I think that's great. I think that's an excellent thing to play for a lot of strategies. If you're looking for a good like non-engine / secondary engine, you can use them as pseudo board breakers, right? You have a pseudo Forbidden Chalice, right? You have a pseudo MST. You have a pseudo what's it called? pops a monster, skips the draw phase, tomb, something, I forget what it's called. Offerings of the Doom. You have a pseudo Offerings of the Doom, something to search all 3 of those, as well as if you have multiples plus tip, you can get Fountain instead and get draws into other stuff. Crazy. I think that this deck, I think that the Runick engine is going to see more play as the format evolves. But for now, I don't think it's going to be... I think the biggest problem with the Runick cards, ironically, is the fact that Vanquish Soul is so disgustingly good right now. That's the problem with Runick, which is insane to say. So yeah, just wanted to throw it out there that I think Runick is like really, really strong still in this format, and it's completely underestimated. The fact that all these are just non-engine cards with 0 points is insane. You don't need the fusion special summon fusion monster. It's not needed. Going into the extra deck, Totem Burn and Cicada King I think are fairly obvious. You have the main thing is that you have a spell and trap negate or a monster negate in the deck itself, not including the Vortex like in the extra deck. So your level 3 bodies actually go into something. Breaksword, you need removal in this deck. Breaksword is like the best rank 3 that destroys monsters. It sucks that this is the best one. Hopefully we get something better later, but I don't like this card too much. It's just that if you're in a desperate situation, you can use it. 1 copy of Grand Pulse just for back row removal that doesn't need to trade with something of yourself. I really never needed this card. You have so much back row removal anyway. You never needed it. Enter Blathneer. Both of your big guys are level 9, so you are able to overlay them into this card to be able to rip cards out of your opponent's hand. Or, anywhere. Deck, hand, graveyard. The card is so versatile. You're not going to do this all the time. This is not like a mainstay thing. This comes up very rarely in like these super grindy games where you have MST looping, and you have like these extra buys you need to clear extra stuff. Or they have like a threat in hand. You could just take care of it in that way. Next up, the Synchro monsters here. Obviously, Malwong goes along with the package sending for Ultimate Slayer, but you also make this card. Now, making this card with Ash Blossom plus one of your little guys, you're able to level manipulate this. So you can go Malwong to increase it to make it level 7, and usually if you have one of these guys, you have 2, and then you can go into something like Chen Ying. You can also reduce its level to 5, and you can make Cyber/Harpy Lady if you're locked into wins, which pretty much says you activate a Power Trap, you can bounce a monster on the field. Very, very good card. So I like this a lot. Again, did I make any of these? No, I never made these. I'm not gonna lie. It's such a you just have so much extra deck space that you can afford playing these like super niche cards. And I think that's also like where my fault may have been, but again, I'll get to that later because my last loss was to Lunalight, and I didn't play an out to Liger Dancer, and I guess that's my own fault. So, yeah, you also can make, instead of making the Malwong, you can make Mind Castellan, who is a Change of Heart, or not Change of Heart, creature swap, actually. You just take control of your opponent's monster. Very, very good to catch a lot of people off guard, which I like a lot. And then if it's sent to graveyard, you can do it again, which is even more threatening and hilarious. This card's just very good. Overall, just a very, very good card. And then, of course, for the Ultimate Slayer package, we have the Valon, Aggregator, Garura, and the Fortune Tune. The thing that I want to mention that probably not a lot of people know about is if you are using Aggregator, this actually is a rank 9. You can make this card. I have made this card. This did come up where you make this card, and then on Exceed Summon, you send Garua to get a free draw. This is something really important to know. Not a lot of people know this, but it does come up where you are able to use this and get a draw if you were trying to dig for an out to something. And then you can use the effect to even reattach the cards so you can get the effect again. So just something to keep in mind. Fortune Tune is in here for Astral Karibo. So this is in here for those strategies that are making the Towers cards. This was essentially kind of my Towers answer to, Liger Dancer, the Super Quant guy, what's it called? The Dragon Ruler. There's so many cards that in this format that are like annoying Towers cards that I wanted a way to kind of make my own pseudo Towers card. And that was Astral Karibo plus Fortune Tune. Fortune Tune can be targeted on the field with card effects. Astral Karibo gives it the effect where it can't be sure of battle or card effects. So this card is pretty unkillable if you are able to make this, and then you can just deck them out with Runick cards and be completely fine. So that was what I was going for with the Astral Karibo. That's why it's in there for 3 points. I never actually was able to do that specific thing, but that's what it was in there for. Because for some reason, Liger Dancer also has a soft once per turn Raigeki on it for the same time, because of the reasons. Next up, we have Ultimate Slayer. Like I said, I actually never sided this in. I don't think I'm going to play this card again. This was good at the start of the format, and I think like as the format evolved, it just got progressively worse. Fua is broken. Fua is just as good as it is in the TCG. It's not Max C, obviously, but it's still disgustingly strong. And I really Really liked playing this card. It's clutched me some games going second, absolutely, especially those game threes where you're playing against a combo deck and it feels like you should auto lose sometimes, and you drop a Fool on them, they end on a half board, and you can punish it very heavily. Now, my fault was that when I was playing Winnowlight, the guy gave me like 8 draws, and I was like, oh, okay, hopefully I could draw in the Crows and stop and make a Liger Dancer. I was in like 20 cards deep, I think, and I never drew a DD Crow, unfortunately, and he just made double Liger, and I could not out it. So it was unfortunate. And then, like I said, 3 Crow, just good hand trap, 0 cost. This card might go up in points, to be honest, or other stuff might come down. I don't know, but I can see it where Crow is going to be either increased or other stuff's going to come down to kind of level up that power field. 2 Cosmic, I don't think you need this card at all. I think this is the slot that should have been Lava Golems or Kaijus or something to out the Liger Dancers, because, again, the game would have been so free if I just had them. 3 copies of the Bunk. So the Bunk is a weird one, right? So a lot of people are playing Iron Thunder, which is a counter trap to stop anything on the field. I really don't need that. And I really needed a card that was good against Vanquish Soul, because Vanquish Soul is a huge threat this format. That deck is crazy. So the fact that I needed a card to deal with that is important. And the secondary part of this was, usually you think you would, like, if they go normal summon Ryzen, you want to like Iron Thunder it. But if you have Iron Thunder in that scenario, that means you already went first. So you probably have something like a Cicada King setup, or your Vortex, or something along those lines. So would I rather have a debunk or a, what's it called? Or a Iron Thunder in that scenario? So if I have Cicada King and I use Cicada King on the Raisin, most of the time they have either Borger or Caesar, because they play 3 of them because they're all 0 points. So what happens is, rather than Iron Thunder Ring kill the Raiden, it's so much more punishing if you go Cicada King, negate the Raiden, Ryzen, and then they chain their guy in hand, and then you debunk that. So you clear the attribute in hand, and you still stop the Raisin. Without Rock, getting those proper attributes is very difficult. So the Bunk is really in here to let your Cicada King and Freezing Curses and your Flashing Fire against Vanquish Soul to resolve. That's like a huge aspect of it. It's ridiculous. You really, like, the fact that Vanquish Soul, the way it plays, makes these cards irrelevant is so infuriating. But because we played Debunk, we can also punish it very heavily if they are chaining to their stuff like they're supposed to be. So we can punish them super, super hard for it. So that is the deck and the logic behind it as of now. I'm definitely going to, like I said, I'm definitely going to make changes. Like, this is, like, I'm probably going to put either Lava Golems or Kaijus or something to deal with these Towers-S cards, driving me insane. And then for Vanquish Soul, like, that deck is just so difficult playing against it. Like, I lost to it. I'm going to show you the replay now. Again, I didn't play perfectly. I want to make that very clear. But it just always feels like you're playing on hard mode. So that's it for the deck. Without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the replay and kind of see what was happening on there. Okay, so here is the replay. I am playing against I Love Juice or Beer. Nice guy. He's like number 1 on DB rated, I think, right now for standard. So congratulations to him. But yeah, super nice. Obviously, I have no gripe against him. This is just more of a me not liking Vanquish. So I didn't like it in standard TCG either. So yeah. So I won the die roll, which was good. Special summon. We were able to search. We opened up a heavy Radiant Typhoon here, obviously. We special summon Swen effect to be able to search. We grab the draw 2. I want to be able to see what we can get. I special summon the Maghala here, and I activate this to search, and I search MST here. So the reason I do this is because I want to set up, I don't know what he's playing yet, but I want to set up something to play around Nibiru, because Nibiru, while it is not played heavily, it is still a card that if you have the option to play around it, you should play around it. So I go Maghala here to grab the Vortex. Then we can do this to draw 2 cards and discard a card, and I chain, or no, I don't chain here. I just discard the MST, that's why. So I'm at 4 summons, I get MST in graveyard, and then we can use this to add back the MST as an interruption, just so that we have it. And now we're able to overlay into our Cicada King, and then we are able to set 3 and pass. And this is what I was talking about, the Runick cards being non-engine. Yes, obviously, we're going to be able to, we have to skip our battle phase, but we have a a non-once while face-up card on the field that can negate monster effects, which is very, very strong. So our opponent's going to go, they go Extrav, also a card that is more than likely going to be hit with points, because this card is ridiculous at 0 points. The normal summon Raiden. There is a ruling mess up here that I get wrong. in the beginning. I do correct it later in the match, but that doesn't matter for this game, but it's very important to know. I use Cicada King to negate the Ryzen, so this Ryzen is negated. So he does the second effect, destroying my Cicada King. That does not work. I catch this on the next time this happens. This card does negate the monster for its full effect, and it negates it permanently. So I reread that later on in this game to make sure. Just something to keep in mind. So he goes Vanquish will start effect, and we are going to MST the start, just get that out of here. And then he's going to set one and pass. I'm going to Destruction clear that. I want no part of whatever that is. Snow Devil, yeah, that card is insane. Don't want to deal with it. So we draw. We don't have any Runicks yet. We are just trying to sustain and maintain where we are right now. So we're going to go Swen again to grab the Chant. Special summon our Eldum effect to be able to grab our Great Flame. I think here I could have grabbed the level 6, but I chose not to. I forget what the exact reason was, but we're going to go Overlay into another Cicada King, activate to add a monster, and we're going to grab another copy of Eldum. We are going to activate the Great Flame, so we have it as an interruption on our opponent's turn with the Flashing Fire, and then we are going to pass turn by skipping our battle phase. Now, I wanted this because I needed to be able to clear bodies, and this is where you're gonna see in this match that this card clear bodies like no tomorrow. So we are going to go activate Vanquish will start, and I was not expecting this. Usually this deck does not play more than one start. So he goes start to be able to add Holisu, and then from here activate Borger to bounce. I was thinking about this very heavily, but I let it go through because I have Flashing Fire and I need this live. That was the biggest thing. I need this live so that I can resolve the Great Flame. So he's going to go Borger effect to be able to draw a card. And then we can normal summon Raisin. Raisin effect, we are going to Cicada King negate it. And like I said, this is where I read it earlier. Oh, he goes Caesar, and then we can use the, what's it called? The Vortex to stop that. And he goes Holisu, revealing the Caesar. So special summon, Raisin's negated. But I have 2 copies of MST, so now this card is threatening every card in the hand. Very, very important. Being able to pop the attributes in the hand is crazy for this card. So he's going to use the Raisin, and like I said, I now read the card properly, and so my guy stays. He summons out the what's it called? The Jialong. I Flashing Fire. He protects with start, very obviously, but he's threatening Nash Knight here. Nash Knight also is very, I think it's no points if I remember right, and we do not want that to go through. So we are going to use our Flashing Fire to trigger the Great Flame. I knew he could protect, but we just need to resolve Great Flame to clear 2 bodies. So we are going to get rid of Borger and Holisu. This is an infinite draw engine I didn't want him to have. Also, you have to keep track of his attributes in hand. I didn't want him to be able to keep drawing, and this allows him to go, had to be one of the rank 5s minimally, so I didn't want him to be able to use this next turn also. These 2 aren't threatening anything because this is negated permanently, so now we pretty much clear like all of that. Jialong can activate to be able to change battle position. That is fine. And then he can go battle phase, attack over the card, our big negate. I used to call this Whale, but I have to remember to call it Vortex now. Yep, he gets another copy of the Trap card, which again I was not expecting. This threw me off. Adding a second copy of Snow Devil is crazy. Usually this deck does not play this many. We draw Runick Destruction. I had to heavily think. I just Runick Destruction to be able to clear the Snow Devil because I didn't want to have to worry about it. But the good thing is this also triggers our Great Flame. I needed to see if the Great Flame was also going to live. That also super mattered before I committed into the Eldum. He tries to do it again. It's still negated. And I tell him it's negated. Banish top 4. And then I take 1,000. New Ryzen summoned. I'm channeling 1 with the Great Flame. I'm going to target the Jialong and the Ryzen. He activates the other Ryzen. It's good. Let it resolve. I go to main. Special summon our Eldum. This is where one of my major mess ups is. I special summon, get Swen, add this, activate to be able to add back an MST. So I wanted to be able to get back the Vortex from the graveyard. So we MST pop that so that we can now trigger the Vortex in the grave. And then he quick effects Borgers to burn me for 15. That's fine. Least of our worries. And then we overlay for Break Sword to try to pop the Borger. I completely forget about the Snow Devil. Again, my own fault. He goes Borger, burn me for 15. I let it resolve. He goes Holisu. I want to just clear the Holisu out of his hand. If I remember right, I need to keep. I was like keeping track of what he has used. He's running low on Holisus. I use the Cicada King to negate the Ryzen. He has to pass. If I remember right, I know he has a Mad Love in hand. So yeah, we draw Mirage of Nightmare here. And then we go battle. He goes to clear, still negated. He does that to draw. So yeah, that is destroyed from this, and then we start in battle phase, and we attack over the Borger. Beating over things in battle is super important in this matchup too. So we still have the negate, we still have this, and now we just activate Mirage, pass, standby phase, go for broke, draw our 4 cards, feeling good. Just insane that we're able to do that. He goes Kaiju over our guy. This is where I start getting worried because he was able to get that to resolve and had the other copy of Raisin. I believe that's the 3rd copy. No, not yet. So yeah, so he goes Raisin, back to Borger, and then goes Borger effect to bounce back to Raisin. This isn't threatening. Like, our guys are actually just huge, and it's really hard for them to deal with this many big guys, so I wasn't worried about, like, dying. It would have been really hard for him to kill me unless his attributes were crazy in hand. So yeah, he goes Holisu to reveal, special summon out, Holisu effect to be able to special from deck. This allows him to get back into Jialong. Again, I was getting real worried here because there's so much here. Turns my Cicada King to attack mode, hits me. I deal 13. I'm at 300 life points. Now he was able... He can overlay here. He chooses not to. He wants to keep the Holisu alive, I believe, at this point. Because I don't think overlaying actually assists him at this point. So I draw into the Kurosa. Great draw there. He goes in for Holisu. I Flashing Fire to be able to clear it. Just trying to hit cards before I have to so this is actually kind of funny, right? I need to play, so I'm at 300 life points, clearly. I need to play around Borger Burn. That's what I need to play around. So I need to clear this Borger without using this freezing curses. So I pop this just to get the cards in graveyard, but this also triggers the Corseska so I can add MST so I don't have to discard with my stuff. So I'm going to go the Great Flame to be able to target the Borger and the Ryzen to clear them, and then I'm going to activate Corseska to summon from hand. So he goes Borger to draw, which I was really happy about because I know I'm not going to die this turn now. I get another turn. And then Corseska effect can add MST and add another card back, so we get another Vision. And I knew, like, we have 15 cards in deck. I know we're getting low. We haven't drawn Tip or Fountain yet, or Ash Blossom. There's a lot of good draws that we can get coming up, so I was getting less and less worried with what we were having. We can activate our guy in the grave. He's going to search with his Jialong. It's fine. Gets more Burger. So much Borger. Yep. So again, you have to keep track of his cards in hand. Very important. So we do eventually draw that Tip. And we're finally, and the Ash Blossom, we're finally able to get our Fountain. It took so long. But again, like, the cards were just working as non-engine. We're just getting the game going. Now we can go Fountain effect, target the Jialong, negate, get a draw 3 in, and now we still have Mirage and Nightmare that's going to draw again. We're just, like, taking over the game now. Like, that's kind of what this is. We're just slowly taking over the game. We have this negate still sitting here with the Vortex. We're still threatening the board with the Big Bird. Yep, Mirage and Nightmare. Go to pass. Standby, we're going to try draw 2. We're just playing around Borger. Remember, that's the name of the game now. He Ash Blossoms our Mirage. We don't care. It's completely fine. Ryzen. He tries to blow up the Vortex. I think I was thinking here for a little bit, but we just negate it. I did not want him threatening this because this has to stop Borger. This can only stop Borger. So I freezing curses the Ryzen, and then he chains the Borger. I believe I changed the Vortex here to negate and destroy it. So just get Borger out of here. And then we Fountain. He triggers, and I trigger Fountain. He Jialongs. Change battle position. So I'm at 0 attack, very scary. And then we draw our 3. He specials. We had a lot of good draws here. We just needed to hit any of those. So yeah, we go Flashing. I didn't want him to be able to go into Nash Knight. That was my worry. So we do Flashing Fire, pop that, and then the Bird to be able to clear the other ones. And we also know he's out of Holisus. He has 2 in the grave, 1 that's banished, and we knew all 3 Stake Your Souls was gone. So we know all the extenders that were out of his deck. So I was completely fine with just blowing up everything here. I wasn't worried. Just clear everything. He passes, and then we end phase to add back MST again. And then we're just perfectly fine. We were so ahead in that moment that there was just no way. So, next game. I believe he chooses to go first. Yep, opens up Raisin. I feel like they always open up Raisin. It's never the other ones. Raisin, Borger. Yep. Holisu as well. Be able to sub special. Holisu effect. Yep, has Mad Love, has all the attributes already. Mad Love effect, get start. Activate start effect to be able to grab another copy of Holisu. Staker Soul will raise in to be able to get Jialong, overlay into the Nash Knight. Does the full Nash Knight play. Completely fine. And then special summon out. And then start to be able to set. So, pretty good. Burns me. It's fine. Draw the extra Fountain. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. I just want to clear that trap card off before I start playing, because that card is ridiculous. So, burns me, does the special. I do tip to be able to start flashing fire. I need to clear off this Masquerade so that I can do my Radiant Typhoon play. So we go Fountain, and then flashing, pop to that, so that we were able to activate the Fountain to go for a draw 2. So we can see more cards, because it's always good. And then we draw Destruction and Chant. We go special summon the Swen effect to be able to add visions. We want to dig deeper again. Chant effect. We grab the. I cannot grab that. I switch it out. I know that. I grab the other guy, Eldem. He crows the MST so that I cannot special summon out from the hand. Again, we catch this right after. But I just normal summon him instead. It's fine. Add the Krosa. He goes Mad Love to bounce. I do the draw 2. And then activate Krosa. Be able to add 2. He Borgers, burn me again. I'm getting low now. So add MST. And we add the manifestation. Activate manifestation. He goes Holisu. Special summon out. Send the vortex. He goes Holisu. I'm gonna activate the bird. Chain with 2 Holisu. I believe I ashed this. Yeah. Summon out the bird. MST, target start. Activate vortex. Activate the big bird to get rid of some of the bodies. I believe I know his hand too. I believe I know it's Mad Love Raisin here, if I remember right. So I think we were, yeah. He has Mad Love Raisin, I'm fairly certain. And I'm like, okay, I think we win as long as he doesn't draw something crazy. Draws, reveals the Holisu that he just drew. I'm pretty sure that's the same Holisu. Wanted to cry. Yeah, so he has Holisu, Mad Love Raisin. Oh my god, the replay broke. Oh, that's good. All right, let me refresh this. Okay, so now we're back. Yeah, so like I said, he rips the Holisu again, unfortunately. So he's able to play, bounce back my Great Flame, and then he's able to continue, special summon off Holisu, and then obviously he has the attributes to be able to special from deck, summon out Jialong to switch the battle position, go into Nash Knight. I have to respect Nash Knight. So he goes into the Masquerade, and then summon out the Raisin, and then from here he can go into, essentially just go in the battle phase and kill me. Again, that Holisu draw was the killer to me. I needed something that the Vortex didn't have to negate. I needed him to be able to go, like, use his normal summon, negate with the Vortex, and then he can't play. And that did not happen, unfortunately. So, game 3, I go first, draw phase, chant. I go special. He has Holisu, reveal Raisin. I'm like, okay, that's good. Reveal Borger as well. I was like, oh my god. We have to ash this or else it's going to get out of hand. Activate Borger, that's fine. Borger, now we get the draw. He also has a Kaiju. I was like, holy crap, this is disgusting. So I go special Eldem effect to be able to grab Kroeska. Activate the draw 2, chain dimension shifter. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? So I know he has Raisin, Holisu, Kaiju now. I was like, wow, that's really, really hard to deal with. So I go activate effect, special to be able to do this. And what I'm trying to do is be able to special out or search the whale, I believe, so I can have it. Or dig? I forget what I was trying to do. I was trying to get this search. The search was important. And then, yeah, he also has Ash Blossom. So his opening hand was Borger, Ash, Holisu, Raisin, Kaiju, and then the Borger drew in the shifter. I'm like, bro, you can't make this up with these Vanquish Soul players. Again, not hating on this guy, but like every time I play against Vanquish Soul, this is what it feels like. So Can't do anything too crazy. We go Mirage, Overlay. We have to make Cicada King. Borga doesn't threaten it and still threatens the Raisin. I wanted something that he has to put the Kaiju over. So, you know, obviously Mirage and the Great Flame, MST is live to be able to spin stuff back. Is still something. Like, it's still threatening the board to some extent. So you draw a standby phase. We go Mirage, draw our 4 cards. We draw an Ash Blossom, which is nice. I really wanted more engine here, but I drew like a bunch of non-engine. So Kaiju over the big bird actually instead. He goes that to be able to draw a card. I'm not going to interact with that. I know 90% of his hand too. He has 2 cards I don't know. So he goes activate the Holisu again, reveal Raisin. That's the 2 cards I did know. He goes activate Holisu to be able to special, reveals a Mad Love now. So now I know Raisin, Mad Love, and there's 1 extra card I don't know. I go Ash so I can stop that from happening. He goes normal summon Raisin. I want to Cicada King this because I don't want to deal with the secondary effect. Does resolve, doesn't matter, he reveals another Raisin. So we're in a pretty good spot. He attacks, I take 300, and I was like, all right, we're in a good spot. And I wish my draws were a little bit better here, but they were like kind of awkward. Drawing the second MST and the second Mirage really sucked. But the MST's fine, I guess, to be able to deal with this. But yeah, Borger, again, the draw. Just so, this card is so crazy how good. Like, just like how many draws this card supplies is just insane. So we have to MST, pop our own Mirage. Activate to be able to search. Now we have a graveyard again, so our MST can go to graveyard, which is very nice. Now we can go special summon, activate effect. I believe we had whale here. Yeah, I think this. I don't know if I should have added this. I think I had another line here. I forget what it was. I think I could have like get this other level 3, get a spell that sends it maybe. We negate the Holisu with the Cicada King, and the Borger draws Caesar Valius, bro. I'm like, come on. 2 games in a row, I'm going to lose these top decks. So, Caesar Valius comes out. And to me, this was where it was wraps. Because this card just pops every turn. And I'm like so out of the loop now. So, he goes Mad Wolf. Mad Wolf effect gets started. So, he has infinite engine now. All because he drew these Borger draws. Like, got him into like the best draws. Like, well, game 2, it was top deck Holisu. Game 3, that had to be the Borger into the Valius, or else I was going to take control of this game extensively. So now I do a little mess up here. I forgot that Mad Wolf has a. I was so on tilt at that point. I forgot that Mad Wolf had the reduced attack. Like, all these cards have like a million effects too. It's just like, oh my god, so hard to keep track of. So I just beat over the Mad Wolf, and it just doesn't matter. It really does at this point. He has Caesar. It's just doing way too much now. He has all 3 attributes. Just pop. He can just machine gun me now. Yeah, draw phase, you can just pop again, and I'm just out of the game now. I'm so out of it. I can't do anything. He's just gonna OTK me from that after he pops this, you can just push. So, yep, that was my my Vanquish Soul opponent. I did beat Vanquish Soul in Swiss. I want to make that very clear. The Vortex did very well. That it's like the Vanquish Soul's worst nightmare is Vortex existing and being able to negate their effects in hand. And to negate and destroy them is the big thing. Once you get 2 MSTs in the graveyard, it is a huge upside against this deck. But, yeah, Vanquish Soul is such an annoying matchup, just overall for the Runick card specifically, and Cicada King, how they dodge it. So, again, GG's to my opponent. Congratulations to him for getting in the finals. I don't know if he won or not, but, yeah, congratulations to him. Overall, I think this deck's really cool. I think this deck's really good, really cool. Probably will be increased in points in some capacity. I think the Radient Typhoon cards specifically are what has to get increased in points. Some of these cards just, I feel like the engine's just too strong. But we'll see what happens. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Again, affiliate links in the description box. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, I'll answer them down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.